Hello and welcome to another modelling video. This is Alan from the Mokono Man at YouTube with another model review. The first completed build of 2017 while we're at it. A very new recent release, the Figure Rise bust by Bandai of Fumina from Build Fighters. It's a styrene, largish anime figure kit with pre-done eyes and pre-molded. Being into resin and other things very similar, it was very worthwhile giving it a go. Not very cheap at being quite close to 2,000 yen retail, but with enough gimmicks and looking quite pleasing snapped, we'll see how far it gets. We are immediately greeted with 7 runners, 1 base, 2 of them being the optional jacket. The eyes, which are very interesting, is multiple gated, multiple cast plastic method on a single runner. This technique is very old, and Bandai has done this more than 10 years ago on the Formula F90 kits in 1 to 100 scale. A bit forgotten, but they were able to put decals and markings such as numbers on shoulder pieces. The mixture of clear and solid pieces is very cool. You can bet most of the cost of the kit was done in the eyes alone. The manual is fairly cool, multiple in colours, very clear to read, gives you good hobby advice about removing nubs for a clean job, and showing you all of your options, as well as sticker application to cover up seam lines and the different options that you're able to attempt. The build itself was very interesting. It mostly relied on these wedges and fins going into slots, opposed to your pegs, which have a tendency of easily breaking. Now, these fins with paint can get jammed and cause all sorts of issues like large gaps. If you trim them down or sand them down, they become quite a loose fit. So if you're doing a painting job, that is something to keep in mind. Trimming 2/3 of it down also works quite well. The fit was very cool. The plastic colour is absolutely spot on, and the surface detail is quite pleasing. The natural light cascading over it already gives you quite good shadowing and an idea how to paint it. The seam lines are very annoying. There's no way around. I could have gotten to fix the top of the hair, but other areas like the ponytail and arms I definitely filled sand then fix. So attempting a lot of those seam lines is not an issue whatsoever. In the way of panel lines to paint in between the lines for the black areas around the tank top and whatnot is quite deep. It does allow for hand painting, as well as the application of the sticker, as well as the little cat logo above the breast. The face is not too bad. Everyone was a bit weirded out that the Super Fumina had a very robotic, eye-separated, strange look. The eyes and the face will still not satisfy everyone, as anime toys and figures have gone through transformation from the 80s to today, and there's many styles, drawing and methods that people like. I had a friend look straight in the eyes and thought it was just not quite right from a GK perspective, but each for your own from what you can see in this video. The kit comes with some options. The head is articulated for a little bit of movement. You can move the torso around the base. As the parts are of a very unique shape, there is issues of mold lines or flash marks around the place in the top of the head and other body parts. They will need to be sanded off and polished out if you're planning to keep it snapped or paint over. Besides that, that's all the faults. Just together, it looks really cool. As a build, not so challenging, could be very disappointing to a snapper unless they like the aesthetic of it. For a scale modeler, we could go further, fill parts, glue and paint. Painting and airbrushing, I think, is where this really goes into it. Modifying is also seemed to be a trend with this, and I can see a lot of people doing some other cool characters outside of the scope of this model. Painting wise, with my own personal project, everything was primed with Tamiya White primer lacquer via an airbrush. I want to keep the colours bright and vibrant, going for an anime toy look. Every parts mounted on skewers with alligator clips. Everything painted in lacquers. For the flesh, went for just normal flesh and shaded character flesh on top of that. A bit of blushing on the cheeks. Try to go as smooth and thin as possible with a matte coat on top of that. Each part where the colour separation is so wonderful was quite playful in its shading. So it doesn't matter the light source, you can see the under and over tones where a shadow would naturally be cast. The black areas around the tank top were hand painted and shaded on top with the airbrush. And the hair was 3 tones of brown, a little darker than the source material, but it's got that slightly more realistic touch to it that I normally quite enjoy and like. All the eyes had was a bit of a gloss tone on top. Not a fan of the eyebrows. If it wasn't covered up by the fringe, that would have probably been filled, and a decal or hand painting would have been applied over that. Nonetheless, very pleased with my finish. I think it's very cool. I really like the base. It's not too tacky or daggy as Bandai sometimes can be like that. The sticker is a nice touch as well. Can't complain at all. Just the engineering and how it goes together in pure colour separation is a lot of fun. And with a little thought and playing, you can get rid of some seams, solve a few problems, or just go out and do some sculpting and have a lot of fun with it. I definitely shoved my stamp of approval. I hope they do a lot more characters, especially female characters from the franchise. I hear rumours that they're doing a lot of Macross stuff as well, so exploring other animes could be extremely cool. I'm very hopeful that this is quite successful, and glad to build it and review it. The shading's not too hard. I'm doing a Honing Your Airbrush Skills 21, I think it is. Look at that, it's how I attempted to do the flesh and some of the colours, actually 20. Thank you very much for watching. As always, until next time, stay tuned for further content. Check out my Facebook for more up-to-date projects I happen to be working on, including uploads from YouTube twice a week. If you leave a comment in the form of a question, we'll gladly answer it and assist with anything you have. Hope you definitely enjoyed this video and this little project of mine. Catch you guys later.